The Murders in the Rue Morgue is a pioneering work of detective fiction by Edgar Allan Poe, published in 1841. The story follows the investigation led by Auguste Dupin, a brilliant amateur detective, into a series of brutal murders that baffle the Parisian police. This tale, often considered the first modern detective story, combines elements of mystery, suspense, and intellectual deduction. The narrative begins with an unnamed narrator explaining the circumstances surrounding the murders. In the Rue Morgue, a street in Paris, Madame L'Espanaye and her daughter Camille are found brutally murdered in their apartment. The savagery of the crime perplexes the police, who are unable to discern a motive or identify the perpetrator. The room is in disarray, and the bodies exhibit gruesome injuries, heightening the mystery. The police, led by Prefect G, initially suspect the involvement of numerous people due to the complexity of the crime scene. Witnesses report hearing two voices, an unintelligible one and another speaking in a foreign language. Despite their efforts, the police are unable to make sense of the evidence and struggle to advance the investigation. Auguste Dupin, a close friend of the narrator, becomes intrigued by the case and offers his assistance to the police. Dupin possesses a keen intellect, a deep understanding of human behavior, and a methodical approach to problem-solving. He begins his investigation by visiting the crime scene and carefully examining the evidence. One of Dupin's notable contributions is his method of ratiocination, logical reasoning based on close observation and deduction. This analytical approach sets him apart from the conventional police methods of the time. Dupin closely observes the evidence, paying attention to details that others overlook, and deduces the logical explanations behind seemingly irrational actions. Dupin's observations lead him to several crucial insights. He discovers a hair that does not belong to the victims, a razor with a bloody razor handle, and an open window. By piecing together these clues, Dupin formulates a hypothesis about the events that transpired in the Rue Morgue. He identifies a sailor, an escaped orangutan, and a window as key elements in the solution to the mystery. The sailor, having committed a violent crime, brought the orangutan with him to the apartment. The animal, unaccustomed to the urban environment, became agitated and attacked the two women when they approached the window. The sailor, in a desperate attempt to control the situation, murdered the victims and fled the scene, inadvertently leaving behind evidence that would puzzle the police. Dupin shares his findings with the narrator and, subsequently, with the police. Initially skeptical, the police are astonished by Dupin's ability to solve the seemingly unsolvable case. The revelation of the orangutan as the perpetrator and the sailor as the accomplice leads to the resolution of the Rue Morgue murders. The Murders in the Rue Morgue is more than a mere detective story. It explores themes of perception, the limitations of conventional reasoning, and the power of deductive reasoning. Edgar Allan Poe's creation of Auguste Dupin laid the foundation for subsequent detective fiction and established a template for the brilliant, eccentric detective, a character archetype that would become a staple in the mystery genre.